Do you have a heart to inspire other artists around you to follow the Lord and to really help them to thrive in the calling that God's got for them? I'm going to give you one really important key in how to start doing that today here on 5 Minute Mentoring. Hey, my friend, so glad that you are with me today here on 5 Minute Mentoring. You know, one of the hallmarks, I think, of the community that we've created over the years here in our Created to Thrive Artist Mentoring program and in the wider Thriving Christian Artists community on our podcast and our events and conferences and things like that is vulnerability. That didn't start with me. I guess it kind of did because I'm the originator of of all this, but it really started years and years and years ago in my own journey with my spiritual parents, Jim and Pat Banks. They really modeled for me and my wife Tanya vulnerability and walking in real relationship with people. I don't know if you've been in relationships like that with people before, where you can really get beyond the superficial and you can really get into the nitty gritty of what it means to live life, to struggle, to thrive in the kingdom, and to walk through everything that God's called you to. And I think as I look back at my life and I think about, man, who are the really influential people in my life? They're people who have been willing to share their area of weakness and how they've walked through that. They've been willing to share that with me and been able to allow me to learn from that. I actually talk about that in my book, Unlocking the Heart of the Artist, when I am talking about this idea of community and raising up the next generation. And I talk about this idea of walking with a limp. We all know the story of Jacob wrestling with the Lord and, coming out with a limp at the end of that, just kind of this reminder of what he had walked through. And I think one of the most powerful things that you can do in your life to develop real intimacy with others and to be a person of influence in the lives of others is not to, in a superficial way, but in an authentic way, be able to share at the right time, in the right context, the struggles and the weaknesses that you've walked through and what you've learned from the Lord in the middle of that, how that's helped you in your art career, how that's helped you in your spiritual life, in your marriage, in your business, whatever it is. Nobody wants to learn from somebody who looks like they got it all together. Nobody wants to really, follow someone who seems perfect, because why? That really makes all of us feel like we can't measure up. And I think artists especially, we are really attuned specifically to kind of be able to catch people that seem fake and seem like, are they for real or is this just a show? And I think learning to walk and own your own limp, that is the things that you've struggled with, and be able to share those. Listen, that's a real place of opportunity for you to be able to develop relationship with others. Is also probably, if you walk through that in a healthy way, it's the place where God has given you an immense amount of authority in your life. When I think about my own life, I think about struggling with identity issues for many years, and the core part of heart healing and renewing my mind. Listen, when I share that kind of stuff with people, there's an authority, not just because, oh, Matt's a good teacher or he knows how to market. No, God's got an authority in my life. He's worked a real settledness in me. He's worked a work of healing that now I can speak out of. And when I speak out of that, guess what? It elicits healing in others. It becomes a catalyst for change in others. And so when you share vulnerably and transparently the things that you've walked through, and you share how God's brought you through that, you share the success that you've now got, the momentum that's happened in your life because of it, that gives people hope. And that also allows God to use you as that catalyst for change, that catalyst for influence. The other thing that I've learned is that when you can really own your own limp, when you can really own the things that you walk through, the more that you share it, the stronger that you get in that area. Every time I teach about renewing your mind and healing your heart, every time I teach about marketing, every time I teach about connecting with people and walking in community, guess what? God's reinforcing those things in my life. All areas that I used to struggle with, but all areas that God has healed and is healing. And as I share those parts of my journey with others, it really, really is an incredible thing and benefit, not just for me, but also for them as well. And that's how community is built. That's how authenticity is built. That's how sons and daughters walk with each other. See, orphans are all about trying to look right, be right, got to have everything together, performance mentality. My identity is based on who I am and what I do and that sort of thing, as opposed to who God says I am. And even though I've been through some stuff, that doesn't define me. My fear doesn't define me. My all the stuff I've been through doesn't define me. All my mistakes don't define me, but they do inform. They do inform who I am. And when I submit those to the Holy Spirit, they can become an incredible catalyst for transformation in others. Hey, my friend, I hope you will choose to live like that. The more you do, the more you will see God show up in huge, huge ways. If you want to learn more about really thriving as the artist that God's called you to be, living out of that beautiful place of divine design, I want to encourage you, grab my book, Unlocking the Heart of the Artist. It's been out now over 10 years, brand new revision, lots and lots of great additions in the book that came out this year, and I know it'll be a huge blessing to you. You can get it in print, you can get it on Kindle, you can get it even in audiobook nowadays with my little old voice reading the whole thing to you. Listen, I love you. Thank you so much for being with me today, and wherever you are, whatever you're doing, remember you were created to thrive. Bye.